Hello, friends and families. I'm Leah with Detroit Children's Theater, and today is a great day to use our imaginations. So today, I wanted to tell you a story. Now, there are a lot of different versions of this story. It's called The River and the Mountain, but after reading a bunch of the different stories, I wrote this one myself. Now, let me tell you something that's really cool about listening to a story is that when I say something like boat, all of a sudden a picture pops up in your mind, right? In your imagination. And that boat may look completely different from anybody else's boat that they're thinking of. Or if I say a waterfall, well, I bet your waterfall is the first waterfall to ever be thought of in that way because our imaginations are so powerful. So I thought I could tell this story and then maybe I would do some illustrations to go along with the story. And I would love for you to do some illustrations as well. So maybe if you could, and make sure to pause if you need, get yourself some scrap paper and some markers or crayons or whatever you like to draw with. And you can illustrate the story along with me as I tell it. How's that sound? Okay, here we go. The story starts like this. Oh, sorry, this cat just, okay. The story starts like this. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a long flowing river. Now, what color is your river? Is it blue? Is it green? Is it murky? In my head, it looks a little bit like this. I would make my river like this. And then maybe I would use some different colors for my long flowing river. Now, this river, she had a lot of work to do. She flowed down waterfalls. What does your waterfall look like? Mine looks a little bit like this. Here is a bunch of rocks, and then maybe I'll throw in a tree like this over on this side. Gotta give that tree a trunk. Okay. And then my river flows down just like this down the waterfall. And she ends up in probably some kind of pool down here, right? Okay. I can't wait to see your waterfalls. You should email us. It's contact@DetroitChildren'sTheater.com so we can see all of your illustrations. So she flows down waterfalls. Oh, she rushed through cities and she gurgled past villages. So I'll do one of those. Which one do you think I should do? A city or a village? Yeah, you're right. I think I will do the village. That's a good idea. So maybe I will make myself this little log cabin here. There's my door, some windows, and be a peak for the house. And then I bet this village door has is colored in pink, I think. And so now I have my waterfall, or sorry, my river rushing past it. Oh, gurgling past it. Okay. So let's do these kinds of whirlpool looking things for the river to gurgle. So she rushed past the cities, gurgled past the villages, and she came upon meadows where it's like very, very slow, just trickling through. And she thought to herself, why do I have to keep flowing every single day? Can't I even stop and rest for a while? Well, our river, I mean, if you were running all day long, she was starting to feel like a little sad, a little discouraged, until she saw her friend, Brother Mountain, in the distance. So, what does your mountain look like? Is it tall? Is it pointy? Is it round? Is it mostly covered in ice or trees? I would love to see what all of your mountains look like. But for me, I'm going to make it like this. I'm going to do, all right, so we do our horizon line. So we have something for the mountain to grow out of. And I'll do like this. Here we go. And maybe I'll put another little bit here. Okay, and then color in just a little bit. And then I think that this mountain has some peaks of snow at the top because it's colder the higher you get. And maybe just a little bit for this guy. And I think my mountain has a lot of trees growing out of it. So here are some trees and grasses and things. Yeah, okay. And the river is going to gurgle past the mountain. So our river saw her friend, the mountain, and decided to rush up to him and ask his advice. She said, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. Can I ever rest? And the mountain, he kind of laughed and he said, look at me. I'm tired too. I've been standing in the same place for eons and eons and eons. Eons means a long time. He said that all he sees is the same patch of sky and the same forests and the same animals. And the river said, that's so strange to me. You're firm and you're fixed in place. And that seems like a really comfortable life. She said, how could you get tired just staying in one place? He said, I wish I could be just like you, river. You get to visit all kinds of meadows and cities and villages, and everybody loves you because you bring them the fish that they need. You provide little pools for kids to play in. I wish I could be just like you, river. You're so important. You give water to the people on your banks. You provide lots and lots of places for plants to grow. And the river said, Brother Mountain, you're so right. I am lucky to have all of those things, but you're lucky too, because you provide homes for so many different animals and people. The people like to live in your foothills. Those are the bottom parts of the mountain like this. And they're probably back here too. And people like to live here because they get to bask in the mountain shade for when the sun is just far too hot and is beating down. So if the sun's over here, let's give this sun a pair of cool shades. Okay. There. And he's happy. So if the sun is beating down on this side of the mountain, where do you think the shade is? Is it here? Nope. Sun. How about here? Maybe way down at the bottom. But over on this side, then they get to be in the shade. The river also told the mountain, you provide homes for so many animals in your trees and in your caves. So let's see if the mountain has a cave in it. Let's fill in this cave, and it's probably got a bunch of rocks around it, and maybe it's got some tree branches hanging over. There's some tree branches and leaves, and I'll do the trunk right here. So who do you think would live in a cave on the mountain? Yeah, definitely a bear. Oh, for sure, bats. You know how good bats are for people? So good, because they come out at night and they eat up all of the mosquitoes. Who else might live in a cave? Yeah. Wolves can live in caves too. So, River said, you have all of these caves to give homes. You also have lots of trees growing on your side. So, let's do a tree like this. And let's put a little knot in the tree, a little hole here. Now we'll do our branches and leaves, just like this. I like to use the 2 at a time because I think it looks cool to have the different colors when I'm making my tree. There, so we've got a tree here. What kind of animals might live in this tree? Well, sure, birds. What kind of birds? Ooh, that's a good one for the forest. Owls. Yeah, I bet they'd love to live right in here. You know who else would probably like to live in there? Yeah, squirrels, for sure. There's so many animals that find homes in trees. So, after they talked for a while, the mountain and the river, and talked about how happy that they were able to give all of these things to the world, they decided that as long as the mountain stayed strong and kept watch over the river, that she would keep flowing and flowing, and they could take care of everybody together forevermore. And that's a story of the mountain and the river. I love learning about the different kinds of homes that the different kinds of environments can provide. So we talked about rivers, we talked about mountains, we talked about trees, we talked about caves. What is a job for the ocean? What does the ocean do? Yeah, it gives homes for all of those sea creatures. That's right. And also for algae. And algae can give us lots of oxygen. And what do we breathe? Oxygen, yeah. What's a job for a cloud? Yeah, those are all great ideas. It gives shade, it gives us water. Now, I just think that it's really fun to listen to a story and see all of the different things that the narrator is talking about in your head. And then just to color pictures and then make it your own. Maybe you can go back through this story. In fact, I'll read it to you from start to finish. And then you can make all of your own pictures for it so you can tell the story to your friends and family. Are you ready? Okay. The River and the Mountain. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a long flowing river. She tumbled down waterfalls. She meandered through meadows. She rushed through cities and gurgled past villages. She was making her way over and through the rocks and fallen trees in the forest when she thought to herself, do I need to keep flowing all my life? Can't I stop and rest for a little while? She was feeling tired and discouraged when she saw her friend the mountain in the distance. Maybe Brother Mountain will know what to do, she thought, and she rushed along until she was close enough to call out to him. Brother Mountain listened to her tale and chuckled. Look at me, Sister River. I'm tired too. I've been standing in the same place for ages. The river replied, you are firm and fixed in one place. How could you ever get tired? I have to be on the move all the time. I don't get to rest for even a single minute. The mountain said, that's true, but I get tired of standing here. Every day I see the same trees and the same patch of sky. I wish I could run around like you, Sister River. I could visit new forests and villages. I could water the fields and be loved by everyone. The river replied, but Brother Mountain, your life seems so comfortable and peaceful. I wish I had a home like you do, because it seems each time I return somewhere, everything has changed. The river is so loved to so many because you are home, said the mountain. You flow every day, bringing food and boats and drinking water for people and animals and for plants. Children love to splash in your shallow waters, and ducks teach their ducklings how to swim along the shore. And after giving away so much, you offer whatever remains to the sea. But day after day, I stand here immobile, just a hunk of rock. On hearing this, the river looked up and said, thank you, Brother Mountain. You're so important too. You offer shelter for the animals that live in your caves and your forests. You provide shade when the sun and heat is too much to bear. The people love to live in your green foothills. In fact, the streams and trickles from your snowy tops join me in my journey to the sea. The mountain stood a little taller and more proudly and said, Sister River, if you can keep running, I'll watch over you. And together, we can still take care of everything and everyone who depend on us. And when we get tired, we always have each other. With new happiness, the river gushed away and kept flowing and flowing. And the mountain, reminded of his own important role, remained steadfast forever and ever. So if you want to subscribe to us, hit that bell to get notifications, and maybe send us an email, and that was contact@DetroitChildren'sTheater.org, or visit our website, which is DetroitChildren'sTheater.org. We would love to see all of your pictures for for this story. And then maybe we can feature them on one of our next episodes. Thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.